Boa tarde! Well, I just came back from my daily long walk where I did some serious thinking, and I realized I have to make a change up here. Today is Saturday. The election, of course, was on Tuesday. And the problem is that I can't continue to ruminate, worry about, be anxious about, suffer from the election results. I was devastated when I learned of the election results. Just floored, unbelievable. And the last few days have been difficult. But I can't continue like that. I am 70 years old. I've put in my time, and it doesn't mean that I'm going to stop caring or that I'm going to stop following the news. But it does mean that I've got to change my attitude and look upon this with more emotional distance. As I said, I'm 70. I've put in my time. I've fought my battles, starting in my early 20s in San Francisco in the 1970s, fighting for gay rights in San Francisco during the time of Anita Bryant and the assassination of San Francisco Mayor and Supervisor Harvey Milk. A lot of marching, a lot of protesting, a lot of phone banking, a lot of energy. And then in the 80s, I was very, very active in the non-intervention in Central America movement, the United States genocidal interventions in El Salvador and Nicaragua. I was also very, very active in the anti-apartheid movement in the United States, in the divestment from South Africa movement, especially at UC Berkeley, which was a triumph, by the way, as you know. I was very active in the Black Lives Matter movement as a ally, and in the anti-gentrification movement in San Francisco, and in other movements. I put in my time and my energy and my sweat and my tears. And now at 70, I still care, but I don't live in the United States anymore. And after what happened on Election Day, I don't plan to return. At least as long as the Trump regime is in power, except for a short visit or two, a 2-week visit or something like that. But I have no intention of returning to live in the United States. And so I need to create some emotional distance. Observe, of course, but not to the point of harming myself emotionally and otherwise. I'm 70. I've got a problematic heart. I've got diabetes. I'm not going to be around for the worst of the consequences of global climate change and America's forever wars and all of the awful consequences that the middle and especially the working classes are going to have to suffer from this very, very poor choice that so many Americans have made. It's going to affect their Medicare, their Medi-Cal, their Social Security, and all sorts of things, their personal freedoms, etc. I'm not going to be there physically. So I'm going to observe it, but I'm not going to absorb it in the same emotional way that I have my entire life. And the fight, my role in the fight is mostly over. And I leave it to younger generations now to carry on the fight, and I support you, but I support you from a distance. So that's what I have to say. That's the conclusion I've come to during my long walk today here in Salvador Bahia, Brazil. And I'll move on to other things now. Fresh pineapple for breakfast this morning. I often have fresh pineapple. It's like a sweet dessert. Very, very inexpensive here. As you can see, my apartment is kind of a mess because I'm getting ready to move at the end of the month. I've talked about that. My landlady decided she wanted to move back to Salvador from the small town that she's living in, and I don't blame her. So we're switching places. She's coming back to Salvador, big city Salvador, and I'm going out to a small, not a small town, but a small city, but just for 4 months. I'll be back in Salvador the beginning of April, so I'll just be out there December, January, February, March, but I will be coming in to Salvador for those important events like Carnival, of course, New Year's Eve, Festival de Iemanjá, Festa de Santa Bárbara, and other events. It's about a total of 4 hours to get into Salvador, and I can stay at my in-laws' apartment across the street. So it's not going to be awful. Kitty cat's taking her morning nap, and there is a remote chance that I might move into the apartment building right across the street, that white apartment building right in front of us, on the top floor. I think that's what, the 1, 2, 3, 4th floor in the United States, and here it's called the 3rd floor. That is where one of my in-laws live. She and her daughter, and she is seriously considering moving at the end of the month. And she would pass the apartment on to me. The car alarm. You crave peace and quiet. Don't move to Salvador. Anyway, so that her apartment would be ideal. It's 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, large by Salvador standards. It doesn't have an elevator, so it is a 3 flight set of stairs to get up there, but I can handle that, no problem. Always good exercise. And the rent is doable, a bit more expensive than this apartment, but I can handle it. And I would love to have those 2 extra bedrooms for guests. Have you ever heard of couch surfing? You get people from all over the world who are members of couch surfing, and they stay in your apartment or house for up to 3 days. People traveling around the world, traveling inexpensively, and they're guests in your house for free. You're hosting, and I'm going to sign up for that if I get an apartment like the one across the street. But, you know, there's a small chance I'll get it. There's a lot of variables involved. If I don't get it, though, I'm going to go ahead with my plan to move out to the country for 4 months, save money, and then come back in the beginning of April 2025 and find a nice 2-bedroom apartment for myself here in Salvador and continue my life here. And now it's snack time. A big piece of fresh, cool watermelon straight out of the bag from the supermarket. Yum, yum, yum.